All right, today, what we're going to do, Miss Edwards will be here in a minute. We're going to do a little group activity again today. We're not getting any homework, I promised you that. Yesterday, we're not getting homework today. We're just going to do a few problems, and then if we have time at the end of class, we can discuss if you want to talk about, the assembly today. But here's what we're going to be doing. Each of you are in little pods, right? You're in little groups. There's about 4 groups in here. That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to hand you 2 problems in each group. So each problem will get a certain number of problems. So there's a certain number of problems that are on your little slip. I have a little sticky note that I was going to give you. Okay? What we'd like you to do is to have your book out, any form of the book, and to try to work those problems out. Just those that are on the little sticky note. That's all you have to do. It's like 2 problems. We're going to give you the paper to actually put on, so you won't need notebook paper or anything like that. But we'd like you to get to the point on those problems that you are proficient at them and you can explain them. But I will not ask you to come up here and do that. So I just want you to get to the point where you know it super well. Does that make sense? Okay, now, what have we been talking the last couple days? What's the polygon that we've been discussing? Say it again? A rectangle. This is the big thing. The properties that we're going to be using today have to deal with rectangles. Now remember, a rectangle is still a quad, so it still has certain properties that apply to quadrilaterals. It still has certain properties that apply to the subcategory, which is parallelograms. So they still have all of those properties. So keep that in mind. But you need to solve your specific problem and find the answer. You need to draw the pictures, label everything, have every amount of work. That if somebody were to walk in this room that has never seen your problem before, let's say like Miss Edwards, she's not even in the room, she can look at your paper and see exactly what your problem was and how you did it. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yes.
Okay, so you got to put enough information on the page. I'm going to provide you the paper for it. So here we go. I'll get you into groups and I'll move the camera here in a second. Let me hand out the problems you guys have. So group number 1, you guys have, let's go that one. That's good. Let's go, you guys have.
Should we rip out a piece of paper? Or do it on, or should we rip out a piece of paper?
No. I'll provide you the paper. You don't need paper. So, all right, here you go. There's your 2 problems. So it gives you the page number you're on and the actual problems you're going to be working on. You have to work on both. Each person in your group will get a piece of paper. So it's not like you're going to have one person do it. So every person you can put your name on it, not your group, put your name on this piece of paper. Just a white, plain piece of paper here. So each one will have to draw it, solve it. You can do it together, work together. If you need calculators, it's fine. But again, do not be afraid to ask questions. I'll even, if you need some hints and tips, because there are certain groups in here, you'll need a hint or tip to try to figure it out if you can't see the shortcuts for how to do it right away. Yep, so everyone's going to do it. You have to have the picture, all the work, and labels. That way if somebody walks in this room like Miss Edwards, she can look at your problem and go, oh, yeah, I know that problem, and I can see how you did it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me turn the camera.
On us?
Yep.
What?
Yes, on you guys. All right, work together.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Oh, I think this is a great idea.
I forgot how to do all of this work.
I'm just gonna.
Do not want to be.
Okay, so again, each group, you have your own problem. Remember, you're going to work together as your little pod, but each person has their own piece of paper. You're going to work out the problem where you draw the pictures, you do the entire problem out, and you're becoming, your expert at those 2 problems. Because every group in this room has their own. You have to be so good, in fact, that you could explain it. But I'm not going to have you do that.
Thank God.
Again, if you have questions, do not be afraid to ask.
Allison, it relates to this picture.
Yeah, I know.
Were they just right here then?
They're up on the sun.
What do they even do?
What?
What do they even do? I really felt the difference.
That's right.
Where does this write?
Talk to your group. What do we got? What are you trying to find? EG. So you're finding the length of the stick. You're doing this one? So, yeah, E to G is that stick. So what do you know about the two pieces they gave you?
Do you have to add 5 to these? Like, do you have to put it back in the 5? Or is that not how that's done?
Please.
I mean, they should be the same.
Yeah, so you said, cool, you solved. You, hey, here's my question. You did it right, but your final answer isn't.
Oops.
But then, hey, you're in sync what you just asked me earlier about how to find EG, so you have to find EG, right?
So then we just do 6 and plus.
Hey, what I have a question.
Yeah, what do
Wait, what do you do?
yeah, because why do we know these? Yeah, because what kind of shape is it?
A rectangle.
So those have to be. And remember, once you find that, then you gotta make sure you read the question, because it might have to use something else, like kind of certain length or blood back then or something, so be careful. Yeah, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. I can give you little hints and tips if you're getting lost, you're like, oh, I don't know what it's asking for, or don't know what to do here, I'm stuck. Give you a little hint or tip. So you're gonna become the local expert.
Or we need a hint or a tip.
Hint or tip, okay. Which one are we on right now? We're on, okay, 11th, so you're in.
Oh, wait, we got a little.
Awkward.
Oh, you can watch the video. Okay, watch the video. Watch the video.
I know the answer.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were done, they had like 5 different thoughts. They put it on the board and discuss it. This is what we're going to look at tomorrow.
Ow.
Okay, so they want to find, what is that? E or C? C, so they want to find this angle in the middle. Okay, well, what do you know of this angle right here? That, okay, so, guys agree? If you could find that angle there, you could transfer it over, correct? What if I told you you could find that angle right here?
Well, that would be good.
That would be real good, right? Here's my little hint, okay? On this picture, this one that you have drawn right here, it's a nice sauce oil drawing.
Is that, I don't know if that's the answer.
So what does that mean?
What's your number 14?
Nice sauce. See, now you're off and on.
On page 426?
Now you go kind of-
14?
Yeah.
So,
No, it's not one.
Yep,
so CA equals
Where's
1645.
next period.
No.
Grade 5.
So we have to wait.
I get it.
Say again? You're beyond, yeah, that's what it's called.
The other ones.
So yeah, so it looks like in your round, second, A squared plus B squared.
I think you're close on like 45.
130.
So if they give you just 2 walls, you can find that.
It doesn't come in.
No, not
Because
necessarily.
they're giving you 2 out of the 3 walls for the right term
This
wall,
angle is a lot smaller
and
than,
you can make a third
it
wall.
would be
because that's
45 if it
what
was a
they're
square.
used for. Or you can do it.
It's a rectangle.
Yeah, easy,
Oh.
easy. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the one.
Alright, I'll do it.
Right, you were saying like this angle and this angle should each be 45, right? That was 27?
Yeah.
If it was a square, it would be each be
Yeah,
like,
sure.
if this is a rectangle, that angle is way bigger than that angle.
I agree.
And it's stretched out.
Now make sure you're showing
So you
all
can't
the
just say
pictures
that it's-
and all the
Oh,
work,
yeah.
so that if somebody were to come up and watch you do it,
Oh.
they would know exactly what you did there. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, you guys got a question?
No.
Okay, good. You guys know what to do. Now remember, you need all the work and the pictures to make sure if somebody were to look at your problem, they know exactly what you did. You need the picture too.
Do we need the problem of the?
Yeah, you can, I mean, if you hadn't written it on the page, like what you're trying to find, I think you already have it, so I think all of you did. But just make sure the picture's there, so people can look at it and go, okay, these are where the numbers go, and that's why they were. Again, don't be afraid to ask, I can give you a hint or tip, or kind of walk you through it.
Is it the same picture?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just one X, yeah, just X. Yeah. And then the other side, one. Yep, and then you can use that to figure out the final. Yeah. Yep. And that'd be the
They look gross. It's like a soggy taco.
No, make sure you have that labeled
Bunch
so I
of
know what the
rice
findings
in it or
is.
something.
And make sure you have the question written down like above, like right next to the report.
I was saying,
So
like,
that way
it looks
when
like
you
there's
go
like
here, they know what you're
maggots
trying
in
to
it or
find. Like, what was the
something.
point of the problem?
I've never seen them, so I don't know what I'm saying right now. But it's like, hey Lord, have you ever had a Hot Pocket?
Aren't they good?
Yeah, they're good. Unless they're lava hot in the middle and then scorch you.
That's mine.
Wait, are they kind of like a big pizza roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
It's kind of like a calzone. Now you just make.
Where you guys talking about?
Hot Pockets, I've never had
We
one.
got on the top of the hot
This
pocket.
is never, I've never had a Hot Pocket.
They're delicious. All right, back to Matt. Got me all hungry now. Okay, remember, if somebody were to walk in like Miss Edwards here, she wasn't in here earlier.
Yeah, actually.
Could she look at your problem and know instantly what you're trying to find? Do you have enough things on your paper to explain it?
Oh, I keep forgetting.
Okay, is this right?
It's fine, I'll cut it.
What number?
Uh,
4.6 or 6, what'd you get?
27.
Okay, so, see?
Try again.
Is this right?
This is awkward.
What'd you get for 5?
11?
That's good.
Z, W, ZWX,
Z-Y.
ZYW.
Page 426, number 6 is not 27.
So one of them is Y.
Solve, and then you plug it back in.
Did you solve for the correct angle?
This is right.
Yes, fine.
EFD.
Yeah, I thought this is like.
EFD is 2x.
That's the middle test for 45 right
And
now.
2x minus 3 would be 30 minus 3.
So, we have to find C.
Since they got
Yeah, see.
correct.
Say it again,
F,
which one?
D, this, D,
You're doing what, 13?
You broke my pencil.
Yeah, 12. C, E, B, yeah, so this
Oh,
angle here
good, so they kind of.
is the same as this one? No, because 65, DAE,
That's D.
that's this angle,
D, F, G, so this one here.
not that one.
X
This
plus
angle.
12.
That's 90.
No, the whole corner is
So
9.
this angle
I'm talking
here
about
is
this
2x
tiny little
minus
triangle right here. This angle's 90, or this is 60, and then this is what, 65?
Oh,
And
that's
this
not
angle's
good.
like 25.
They'd be
This
equal
angle
if it
here
was
is
a square, this is a
65.
rectangle.
How'd you find that one? Because you're after,
This-
you can find
this-
this
or
angle, you can
this
transfer
picture?
across.
Like this angle is way bigger than,
Here's my little.
they're not the same measurements. If it was a square, you could say the angle was the same, this is a
This
rectangle.
triangle right here.
What?
These angles are the same, but they're stretched out, so you can't say if the angles are equal to each other.
This is exactly what you know about
Is that
this.
Yeah.
These are good?
It's a
I think
definition
it
of
was like
license.
790.
Do you want to check? Okay, page 426.
What's that name?
What'd you get for number 10? Very good, and the other one was number 12, what'd you get? Excellent, yep, those are good. Oh, excellent.
This is not.
Oh my gosh. Why are we doing that?
But hey, same rule still apply. Erica, the only reason I asked that, I was like, why are you doing both? Because they were just doing both. I was like, no way, I did the same problem.
Yes.
How's that student?
I got 27 again.
70.
Something bad is happening. Oh wait, I didn't put it back in.
Right, so now you can,
Okay.
I wish I had a different fifth period.
51.
I don't want to sit in English for 40 something.
We didn't do it. We haven't classes 3 times. How long do you have? 10,
well, tomorrow when you
15
go to,
minutes?
when you help someone else, it might be the same thing you do, 30 people. Don't just tell
Classes
them.
on.
Like 90, maybe you say like, hey, maybe, so once I put that in there,
Lord, where would you?
Then you
I
said-
saw
then Brandon
something
said,
in our
oh, it should
maybe
be
like
cool.
right at the beginning of like the
yeah. But if you just
Well, yeah,
add
it
such
would
a
be-
picture, sometimes you
We
just,
have to talk
like I have a
about
hard time reading
isosceles
it and
back
seeing
in
it.
the last.
I need, it work, I mean, it works for me, that I need to draw
Chapter
thing out, cause then it's easy for me to see, like, oh, that's in the corner, it has to be.
We had a lot of properties.
Are these the only problems we're doing?
Right.
Wait, how'd you get
At 10 o'clock instead of.
So what can you tell me about ice hockey?
Two of them was.
What are two? Balls and? Angles. Two angles are the same, two balls are the same. So keep that in mind, that will help you on your problem. So each of these are isosceles.
I'm thinking just like band pictures.
Yeah, exactly. And see, now you're already starting.
And Hayden doesn't like.
Okay, hey, if you are done with your problem, this white piece of paper, make sure your name is on it. You need to put it away for right now. If you're still working, keep it out.
The 2 eggs.
Wait, where do you put it?
So you can put this little white piece of paper away. Hopefully you have both problems written down so that you hopefully have enough information you can explain it if I ever ask you to do that. I'm not going to do that. Okay, good. Okay, all right. Now, put the little white piece of paper away. Here's the reason why. I'm going to move my camera here. Okay, so here's the reason why I'm having you do these 2 problems. Tomorrow, I'm going to pick one of the problems. So like this group had different problems than some of you guys had in your class. Like one of the problems is number 5. So what we might do tomorrow, and I'll kind of pick and choose, I might give the entire class problem number 5, just to do on paper, on this white piece of paper. You guys are going to be me tomorrow. And you're going to walk around the room and help people with it.
That would be a great word.
So, does that make sense? You don't have to stand in the front of the room, but you get to be Ward or Miss Edwards for the day and explain, help people out, see if they can solve it. Okay? You guys had different problems, right? They had number 10, let's say. Maybe I hand the whole group in this room number 10. And you guys are the experts. You walk around like what I was doing and Miss Edwards were doing to help people out. And you had to have the picture so you know how to explain to somebody. Okay? So, that way, you know what problems you have to be experts at. They're on your little piece of paper. So if you weren't great at them today, you have another night to look at it, see if you can get it down, so that you can help out people tomorrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, it's meant to be straightforward and easy. All right, you need to put that little white piece of paper away, so put it in your notes. There's one picture I would like you to have in your normal notes day. So take out your normal notebook. You can put your Chromebooks away. I'm going to walk around the room and I'm going to collect my little piece of paper here. And a little sticky notes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So. All right. Here's the problem I'd like you to have in your notes right now. I'd like you to draw a right triangle. I'd like you to draw a right triangle. Now, on your right triangle, what do we need to have inside the right triangle? 90-degree angle. So you better have you better have that little box in the corner to signify that it is a right angle. And I would like you to label it. This triangle, I'd like you to label it A, B, C. A, B, C. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time because I know some of you are still getting your notebooks out and you're drawing your right triangle. Orange should have enough time for the right triangle. You have it labeled ABC, correct? Where the B is the right angle? Okay. So you're just finishing. Excellent. Now, here's what I'd like you to do. On your paper, I would like you to locate, locate on this picture, I want you to locate the midpoint of A to C. I want you to locate the midpoint of A to C. So that's a vocab word, right? We haven't seen this word for a while. It's been since the last previous chapters. What is a midpoint? Don't say it out loud, so think about that. You got to know what a midpoint is. All right. Without saying it out loud, does somebody think they know what the midpoint means? Do you have an idea what midpoint is? Or how to draw it at least? Okay. So if you think you know where the midpoint of AC is, I want you to come up here, grab a marker, and actually draw it. So, is that a volunteer?
No.
Oh, no.
Give me one of those compasses.
No. Just freehand draw. Just like guess me, please. Thank you. Okay, all right. Now, if he has one that you disagree with, just try to guesstimate where it's at. Okay.
This side
That's
looks a
off.
little bigger.
That's off.
Okay. A little bit different. Okay. You already noticed you're off. So you have an idea what midpoint means, please.
the left a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of the, Brandon, not to throw you off there, I'm gonna get rid of your little marker. Are we in more of agreement that the blue line's a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, what does midpoint actually mean? Somebody say it out loud.
The middle.
The middle, that's exactly right. It's the middle dot, it's an actual point. So you should have had a dot on your paper. Okay, if you put the little hash mark, that's fine, I like it, I like the little hash mark. But I want you to put a dot, because it's an actual point. It is an actual point, it's a location in space. But I want you to label it with a capital letter. So let's put the letter N next to it. Because, say it again there, Al, what did you say it was?
The middle.
It's the middle. Now, here's the crazy thing. That dot is way more important than you think it is. In fact, that dot M, the one that we just labeled, the midpoint, is actually the same distance from all three dots that are on that board. A, B, and C. It's the same distance from all three of them. So let me draw that. This stick, and this stick are all the same. You just freehand drew it, but that is the most specific location on that picture. Okay, the other two are different. Like, this is a different length, this bottom plate. This one is different as well. But those three that I have the arrows pointed at, those are all the same stick. And in fact, the reason why I bring this picture up is because it's based on what some of you had for the problems in your homework, or that were the little example problems you guys had on your note cards. Some of you had to use that fact, that those sticks were the same length. Tomorrow, our goal is once we get through all these little groups and we try out some problems and we do some of these, we're going to come back to this problem. We're going to see if we can explain why. Why does that work? Why is that dot so important? Does that make sense? Okay, so hopefully you have that drawing, but that's it for today. We're done. We'll continue with our little group activity tomorrow. Make sure you have that white piece of paper. Do not lose it. You want to hold on to that because you're going to be your regional expert at your problem. If you didn't finish it or maybe you weren't happy with it, because I know some people were fixing it, maybe you want to look at it tonight. Remember, at the end of the week, Friday, you need to have all late work from me turn in, or missing work, or redo assignments. I know some of you turn in those later. I'll hand back some papers tomorrow. I don't know if there's anyone who's in here. I think Brooklyn, you left a piece of paper in here yesterday. Did I give you some? Forgot that one. Got that? Okay. But all late work, missing work, all that good stuff needs to be turned in. I'll hand back some papers tomorrow for the things you have corrected. So if you want to make another correction to it, you can. So we'll do that tomorrow, so we have a little more time tomorrow. But be ready to go tomorrow, okay? It should be pretty easy, okay? We're good? If you brought a calculator for me, make sure you get it back in my little caddy. I think I'm missing quite a few of them. Hopefully I get those back.